Hey, you guys, it's your girl Aquila coming straight at you from Diva-Villege. My minds, my thoughts. Today's show is sponsored by a very important charity that I have. Not charity, a very important group that I have. Let me show you who it is to broadcast. Today's show is sponsored by the Blessing Box. Let me tell you about the Blessing Box. The Blessing Box is a LLC group that was started by Wade Baines. Wade Baines unfortunately passed away, and his sister Willette Baines took over this organization. With this organization, what they do is they sponsor kids that are on their way to college. They do school drives, they do coat drives, they do fundraisers. She does fundraisers to help the people in Newark Penn Station. Hey, Willette, how are you? And she also does fund drives for the VAs. She feeds the homeless. She goes out into the community and help to clean up the community. So if anyone is out there and they are looking for a great organization to invest in or to help with, reach out and let me know so that I can give you that information. And like I said, the title of that is The Blessing Box. Shout out to Willette and the Blessing Box. Thank you, Willette, for being such a faithful person. Now, my person, Ann, I don't know where Ann is at because I can't seem to find her. But at any rate, we're going to go on with this show. Thank you so much. Thank you. Always. So the title of my show today is called Elderly Abuse. So we've talked about child abuse. We've talked about we talked about child abuse. We talked about rape. We talked about molestation, but we've never talked about elderly abuse. And I'm going to bring this up on my phone so that I can make sure that I have all of my points that I want to talk about. So with elderly abuse, a lot of people look at it and they think there is no such thing as called elderly abuse, but there is a such thing as called elderly abuse. So what we have to do, we have to look out and protect these people. To look out and protect these people, what we have to do is always, hold on, give me a minute. Okay. So to protect these people from elderly abuse, we have to always be there for them and always look out for them. We all have family members or we know of someone that is elderly and we see what happened to the elderly. A lot of times people take advantage of the elderly. They look at the elderly as though they're nobody or as though they're never going to get to that point in their life. And if you live long enough, we will all become elderly. So when I think of elderly abuse, I look at different things that people do to the elderly. Now, I work in a bank, so I work with people just in general. And I see a lot of this when I say elderly abuse. So when I think about elderly abuse, I look at things like a person is home, they may be bedridden, they may not be bedridden, but at the same time, they still need somebody to help them out. So let's say they need food and stuff in their house. So with them needing food in their house, they may say to the home attendant, take my card, go to the ATM machine or go to the bank, or they may write that person a check and say, take this money and go get this food and stuff for me. Now, I'm not saying that all home attendants are bad. Let me just put that out there. I'm not saying that all of them are bad. And at the same time, I'm not saying they're all good too, because I've seen it with my own eyes. So these people, they go to the ATM machine. They take these people money out of their accounts, right? So they take out what they need to get the food or pay bills or whatever the person asked them to do. But at the same time, they're helping themselves also. Now, this person, hold on. Willette said, our elderly are so full of wisdom and should be cherished. Willette, I agree with you. But these people, what they do with it, they take these people money out. And these people, they don't even realize it until it's time to pay another bill or something comes up and they need something. Then they go to their account and there's no money there. So I've seen them coming into the bank and they're saying, I know I had X amount of money. I received my Social Security. I received my pension, but that money is not there. I don't know what happened to my money. So the sad part to this right here is when you have an ATM card or a debit card or whatever you want to call it, if you give someone your PIN number to do something for you, and then they take the money from your account and you come to the bank, there's nothing the bank can do. And the reason why there's nothing the bank can do is because you gave them that information. Well, let's say it's so sad to see them come to their doctor appointment alone, no family. That is true also. They can't get this money back because they gave that number out. That's why they said you never give your PIN code out to anybody because they can take advantage of what you have in the account. Now, well, that just said that they come to appointments and they have nobody to come with them. I've seen them do that too. They coming into the bank, they going to wherever they have to go, doctor's appointments, and they're dragging by themselves. They can barely make it. But the funny part about this right here is a lot of people will let these elderly people go out by themselves, do things by themselves, and struggle by themselves and not be there for them. But there are family members that know that this person receives their Social Security, this person receives their pension, and they're quick to go to them to ask them to help them for something. But something as simple as taking this person to the doctor, they don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad they don't want to do it because when that person is gone, the person that was helping you do stuff, what are you going to do now when you don't have that person? I have an uncle, and for a while, I went through this thing, and some changes was made on my job, so I wasn't working at the time. But my uncle, every time he needed to go to the doctor, no matter how many times it was, I went to the doctor with him. Eventually, somebody else started going with him. But my point is, at some point, I'm going to need somebody to help me to do something too. And at that point, I want somebody to be there for me, to do it for me as well. Because people think, you know what, this would never happen to me. But it happens to everybody. Sometimes you get old or older and you don't need anybody to help you. But then you get older and you do need people to help you. Money. People, they know that senior citizens, they get their money the first of the month, the end of the month, and they stand around banks. They stand around check cash. Wherever these people are going to cash their checks and stuff or to get their money, people are standing around and actually waiting for them to do what they need to do so they can take their money. You have senior citizens, people are watching them go to the bank because they know when they go to the bank. They follow them home, knock them in the head as they're walking into the building to take the little money that they have. You know what I'm saying? Now, these people end up in the hospital. Some people end up in the hospital. Some of them end up dead. You know what I'm saying? Because these people are abusing our elderly. And it seems as though nobody really cares about what's going on with the elderly. They care about everything else that's going on. But when it comes down to the elderly, nobody cares. Emotional and physical abuse. As an elderly person, you still want people to take out time with you. You still want people to come and visit you. You still want people to be there for you. But a lot of times people figure, okay, this person is old. This person doesn't need family. This person doesn't need anybody to be there with them. A lot of people that become elderly, you know, they become depressed and they end up dying in their depression just because they are being alone. I feel that if you're an elderly person and you have kids, whether it's 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids, it doesn't matter. Somebody needs to find time to spend with that elderly person because that person took care of you as you were growing up. Well, that says, granted, they are not always easy to deal with, especially age. As they age and they realize that they are not the same, they are still, well, you're 100% right. You still need to look out for these people. Hey, Deirdre, how are you? Because these are the same people that looked out for you. As we were kids and growing up, our parents looked out for us. Some of us were raised by our grandparents, and our grandparents looked out for us at the same time. So I'm saying that to say, when that person becomes older, why would you want to put them away? Why would you want to not take out the time to be there for them? There are situations when people say, oh, when my mother gets old or my father gets old, I'm going to put them in a nursing home so that I don't have to take care of that person. Why would you not want to take care of that person? When you put these people in nursing homes and you put them in hospitals, if these people feel that there is nobody there that cares for them, they do not take care of these people the way they're supposed to be taken care of. I know this for a fact. I went in the hospital 2009. I had to have surgery, right? When I had this surgery, I was still able to get up and move around and do stuff for myself. So as I'm walking through the hallway, I see these elderly people. They have them sitting like in chairs in the doorway, naked. You know, they're washing them up or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, you disrespecting that person, because why do you have that person sitting in that doorway like that? And if I'm walking up and down the hallway, why should I be able to see this person or watch this person to see what's going on? It was nothing that I could do because, hold on, Willette says, it's an honor and a blessing to take care of them. Just sit and visit. And Willette, and they appreciate that. But these people that I was seeing, they were sitting in the chairs. There was nothing they could do for themselves. The nurses, they're in the room. They're talking to themselves, talking to each other, doing whatever it is that they're doing. But I'm saying, if the family took time to go there, to be there with these people, would this happen? Absolutely not. If I was able to go to this person's aid and to say something and do something, I would have, but I wasn't in any situation or predicament that I could help. I'm that type of person that when I see a person being taken advantage of or abused, I'm going to speak up and I'm going to say something. I even said to the nurse when she came, matter of fact, back up. The nurse said to me, we need more patients like you because you can get around and do for yourself. You are getting paid to take care of these people. I don't understand what the problem is. They're in the hospital. They're ringing the bell saying, I need help. I need help. I need help. But then when they come in there, the nasty attitude that they have to them, like they're doing something to them. Yesterday, I went up to City Island yesterday. It's a seafood place. Anybody who lives in New York, New Jersey, certain places, you know about City Island. So when I got there, I noticed that it was a lot of seniors that were there. So I figured they was giving them their day. So they were bringing the senior citizens in and they were feeding them. So this one little old lady, she was walking with her walker and she was going a little fast. Granted, it was a little cool outside. It was a little cold out there. So grandma was trying to like move a little faster. And the lady says, you know what? She really makes me sick because she just doesn't listen. The lady said, I'm sorry. And I'm saying to myself, why are you talking to this lady like this? I mean, hey, Alvin, how are you? Why are you talking to this lady like this? Is somebody's mother, somebody's grandmother. Why are you talking to this lady like this? But people don't take time to be there for the elderly to protect them. You know what I'm saying? But then when something happens to them, say if it's a lawsuit, everybody wants to run in then. Oh, you know, that was my grandmother. That was my aunt. That was my mother. Now you want to come in and help. But during that time when you could have helped, you wasn't there to help. There's people that's in nursing homes. And you know, you're supposed to move these people around in these beds and stuff so they don't get bed sores and all this right here. But because people don't take time to go and check out their family or check out their friends to see what's going on, these people leave these people in there. Nobody's checking on them. Nobody's moving them around. Nobody's doing anything. I know of a person personally that was in a nursing home and in there with bed sores and infections. Why? Because nobody was going in there to check on these people. As elderly, they can't speak for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because people think, forget them. They're not talking about anything. Oh, they're whining and crying like they're in pain, but they're not in pain. How do you know they're not in pain? Why put these people through these different situations like this when you don't even know yourself what's going on? Just because they're older and they can't express themselves, it doesn't mean that they still don't feel like everybody else feels. The pain, the aggravation, the suffering, they still feel that too. And I feel that we as a younger generation, or we as people, that one day, if the good Lord spares our life, we will be in that same situation also. And when we become that situation, we want people to look out for us. We want people to protect us. We want people to stand up for us and say, no, don't treat that person like that, because that's not the way that you're supposed to treat people. When your parents get old, okay, they get old, they become a nag, they become a pain in the neck. But you think about it, you were that same way to that parent as you were growing up. You weren't always that perfect person. You got sick, you felt bad. They had to take you to the doctor. They had to run back and forth to school for you. They had to go to the store for you. They had to go pick up medication for you. They had to do different things for you too. So now when the script is flipped and you have to do the same thing for them, I don't get it. What is the problem? We look at ourselves, we look at our children, and it's always about sexual abuse on kids, sexual abuse on this person. But the elders are being abused also. People are abusing elderly people also. They pushing them into buildings, they raping them. These people are on drugs and stuff, and you know these people are on drugs, but you leave them there with your elderly mother, your elderly father, or your grandparents. Now, they want to get high. They don't have money. So when this person, they ask this elderly person for money so that they can get drugs and they can't get it, what do you think they're going to do? There's so many cases where these people are beating up these elderly people. They're abusing these elderly people. Why? Because they want money to do whatever it is that they want to do. James said that he doesn't think that people think of it like that. He's right, because people look at it like this right here. If it's not me, why should I worry about it? And that's a bad way to be, because people always feel that the only person I'm going to look out for is myself. Nobody else matters. I'm telling you, I'm a person that if I know you, if I don't know you, I'm still the same way. I'm going to look out for you and I'm going to care for you. And the type of work that I do, again, I work with the public because I work in the bank. I've seen elderly people come into the bank and they can barely even move. They struggling and stuff to come in. Whereas you got to open the door for them. You know what I'm saying? You got to give them water. You got to help them sit down sometimes. You got to help them stand back up. But people look at it because they're elderly. They don't want to take out that time with them. So now you want to rush them. You want to yell at them. You want to scream at them. You don't want to give them the time. You got to give them the time, because you know what? These people used to be the same person that you are today. They were younger. They were doing the exact same thing that you were doing. But you got to think about, you're going to get in the same place where they're at one day. And what are you going to do? I have one daughter, two daughters. And I pray that when I get older, if be needed, I pray that they will be able to come to me, help me, look out for me. Don't put me in a nursing home, because I don't want to go to a nursing home, because I want somebody to take care of me the way that I would take care of them. I've gone into hospitals and places for myself. And if I see somebody in there sick, I'll stop and ask them, are you all right? Is it anything that I can do for you? And people say to me, you just nosy. No, I'm not nosy. I just want that if something like that happens to me, somebody helps me. Well, let's say like the 80-year-old woman robbed coming home from church and beaten and bruised for $20. $20. What are you going to do with $20? You can't even buy anything for $20. So you're going to rob an 80-year-old woman that can't fight back for $20. I think, too, a lot of people do this to the elderly because they can't fight back. They see them as helpless people, and they feel that they can't defend themselves. And this is why they take advantage of them. Willette, thank you for being so interactive tonight. Willette works at a hospital and really hate to see them come to the departments alone. Can't even sign forms a lot of time for, see? And you 100% right. Because you give them these papers and you go, fill out this paper and take a seat and come back over. A lot of them, they can't even do that. They can't even sign their name. So someone needs to be with them. Someone needs to give them that support. Somebody needs to do it. If I could help everybody, trust me, I would. But I can't be in every place at one time. But wherever I am, if I can help people, I do. I ride the train every single day to go to work. Back and forth, I take the train. And I see elderly people get on the train, and a lot of them, they're on canes or whatever the case may be. And I see people that would sit there and look at them and not give up their seat. Now, I don't give up my seat for everybody on the train. If I said I did, I would be lying. But if you are elderly, if you are sick, if you are pregnant, I will give you my seat. If you are standing there and you have a cane, I will give you my seat. If you have one of those boots on your foot, looking like you had surgery or something, I will give you my seat. But there are so many people that would sit there and let the elderly just stand there. And when I say stand, if you know how the trains are, in New York City, there's a pole that you're either going to stand and hold the pole like this, or you're going to hold up on the top to it. And a lot of time, as an elderly person, you can't do it. You can just barely get yourself together just to get on the train, period. But then to have to stand there. But I see a lot of people. I see a lot of men, and I see a lot of young kids that would just sit there and let the people stand there. And it's just like, it's unbelievable. No family to even check on the medication. Okay, that's another thing. Medication. Now, I said at the beginning that I had an uncle, and I always look out for him and stuff like that. He had gotten sick. He went to the hospital. When he went to the hospital, I'm a person, I ask a lot of questions and stuff too. So he went to the hospital. When he got to the hospital, they were looking at his medication. So let's go like this. We got A, B, and C. Okay. A is one thing, B is one thing, and C is a combination of A and B combined. Okay. So when they were going through his medication, looking at his medication, he was taking A, B, and C. So my question is, okay, now I'm not a doctor, but it seems as though he's a bit over-medicated. Because if C is a combination of A and B, why is he taking all of this right here? Nobody could give me an answer to tell me why he's taking all of this medication. Now, I could have just walked out and just left it because I'm not a doctor. But instead of letting him continue to be over-medicated, I had to stay on them. So tell me. So they go, are you his daughter? No, but you see, I'm here. I'm his niece. Tell me, why is he taking A, B, and C? So then everybody starts pointing fingers at everybody else. And in the process of pointing fingers at everybody else, I say to them, okay, well, if he's going to take C, he's no longer taking A and B. So this is what you have to do for the elderly, because they can't speak for themselves. And if somebody doesn't speak up to help them, this is what's going to happen. Deirdre says, I'm a manager at a private optical doctor's office. I tell the elderly to call me when you are coming for their appointments or in the parking lot so I can help you. Deirdre, thank you. That's a good thing, because they need it, because I didn't even think about that. If they're driving or they're in a cab or they're in them accessorizers, sometimes they still need help when they get in the parking lot. They still need help coming inside. Somebody has to open the door for them. Somebody still has to help them. But people, they just seem to forget, oh, you know what? If they're out, they're able to do this on their own. No, they're not. They cannot do it on their own. That's why they have the accessorizers. This is why they have people, home attendants, to come and help them out. And home attendants don't mean you just come to the house and you sit there and watch TV. No, you got to help that person out. If they need to go to the doctor, you take them to the doctor. You need to check their medication to make sure that they have the correct medication. Deirdre Willette said she said that was nice of you what you did. Yeah, I did. Whatever it is that these people need, somebody has to be there for them. Don't let the elderly fall to the side. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, one of these days, if God spares your life, you're going to be there. You're going to want somebody to look out for you. You're going to want somebody to help you. And I find that in this society today, people are becoming so selfish and so judgmental. And it's so bad that it makes me sick. It makes me sick to my stomach to see how some people are. So they think that if you can get up and go out, and if you got a smile on your face, that you're okay. You could be smiling, because I smile every day, but just because you're smiling, it don't mean that you're okay. It doesn't mean that you don't have some sort of aches and pain. Because you're smiling, it doesn't mean that you're not lonely. It doesn't mean that you don't need company. Some people say, oh, I don't like to talk to older people because they talk too much. They talk a lot because they're lonely, because they need somebody to talk to. Me, I can talk to anybody. Anybody who needs somebody to talk to, reach out to me, because I can talk to anybody. I don't meet strangers. I love people. I love people, all different types of people. But I have to say this again, the elderly, I love the elderly. And for some reason, they love me because I can sit down and I can talk to them. Willette, Deirdre said, thank you very much. Well, I added very much, but she said, thank you. So I'm going to bring this to a close, but I thank you guys for coming in. I wanted to talk about this right here because everybody talks about everything else that's going on. Anything that's going on social media or anything like that, they always talk about it, but things that are important, they don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, you guys. With this right here, I know I'm going back and forth, but I just want to add this right here and again to you guys. Hold on, I'm going to add this right here. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. I done messed up. Okay. So I'm going to add this picture because I want you guys to see this right here. This is the blessing box. The blessing box, and you see that's Willette in the picture, and that's her family because they all help her out. Whether it's elderly, anybody who needs help, they go out and they help these people. With the blessing box, they also anybody that's going to school, they help them out with school. College students, they do college scholarship for kids. They feed the homeless. They what is it? School drives for kids. They go to like places, poor areas. They feed homeless. They feed the people in these places like this. And this is what the people need right here. People they don't realize it, but this is what people need. It's not really all about yourself. Sometimes you have to, not sometimes, all the time. You need to give back to somebody else all the time. It doesn't have to be about yourself. You know what I'm saying to you? It doesn't always have to be me. No, look out for somebody else. And the good thing about this organization that Willette has, she gets donations for this. But when she gets the donation, she doesn't keep it for herself. She takes this donation and she helps out different other organizations to do things. So again, if anybody's looking for an organization to help, look into the blessing box. Look into Willette Baines because they're helping people. They're doing what needs to be done. She has an LLC. She's looking to move it to a nonprofit organization. But they help people, whether it's old people or young people. They help people. And people think because, people get old, they don't need help. They still need help. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs help. Nobody can survive on this earth by themselves. Willette, Deirdre says that what you have is amazing, and trust me, it is amazing. I've been to things that she's given like that. I've seen it. I've even interviewed her on my other show, Demarca Media, to let her talk about the blessing box, to explain how it actually works. I mean, coat drives. Older people need coats too. You know what I'm saying? So they get that too. She gets shoes. She gets socks. Hold on. She said, we've also done senior citizens luncheon during the holiday where we provide holiday trees and gifts for them. See what I'm saying? And these people appreciate that because you think that nothing is going to come your way and then you see something like this right here. They appreciate this. Willette, thank you for being the person that you are and for looking out for these people the way you do. Now, I'm going to bring this to a close because, it's a lot. And a lot of times when I do shows like this, I become emotional and it really like gets to me because I hate to see people being mistreated. You know what I'm saying? And people have a tendency of, give me a minute. People have a tendency of mistreating the elderly, and they don't think it's being mistreated. And it's sad because if something happens to anybody else, everybody wants to talk about it. But something happened to elderly people, nobody want to talk about it. I said I wasn't going to mention this, but I will. You're welcome, Willette, anytime. So everybody knows what's going on in the in the news, right? And I'm not going to really talk about this, but it's the R. Kelly thing, it's the Jussie Smollett thing, it's the Patriots owner thing. Everybody is talking about that. But did anybody see this picture that I posted that I got from somebody else of an elderly lady that was in the hospital? And in the hospital, she was sitting in a chair. They had her pushed up to a desk with a pillow on the desk with her face laying in the pillow. Come on. You can't give this woman a bed. You can't do nothing better than this right here. Thank you, Deirdre. It is emotional because I look at it and I say, one day I'm going to get old. We're all gonna get old. And it's just so sad because nobody cares. Everybody is so busy into themselves that whatever's going on with the next person doesn't matter. Before I close, I know I keep saying I'm going to close, but this right here is something that just like, it bothers me. Today I went to get my taxes filled out, right? And I've been going to this man for the longest to get my taxes filled out. So before the year ended, because I know he had been sick, I was calling and I couldn't get in contact with him. So finally he called me back and he said to me that he had been in the hospital. So I'm like, are you okay? So this guy, when I say to you, I've known this man like forever. He's like the nicest person that you would ever meet. This man is so nice and he's such a humble person. So I said to him, are you okay? So he said, yeah, I'm okay. So I said, okay, I'm going to call you next week and check on you because I want to ask you something. So he goes, no problem. So I didn't call him the next week. I waited a while and I called him. And when I called him, he didn't pick up, but he called me back. So when he called me back, he said to me that he was in therapy. I'm like, therapy? I'm like, you still in the hospital? He's telling me, yeah, I'm still in the hospital, right? So I'm like, man. So I said, don't worry. I said, I'm going to continue to call you to check on you. This man has family and stuff, but at the same time, because he's somebody that I know, he always does my taxes. He do a great job too. He looks out for me. He's always there for. I felt that it was my responsibility to do this. So now it's time to do the taxes. So his sister calls me. She says to me, we're bringing him home from the hospital. He's no longer doing taxes, right? I'm like, man, that sucks. She said, but I'm doing it. She said, I don't know if you remember the other guy that used to help him, but we're still doing the taxes. So whenever you want to come to the house and we'll do the taxes. So my appointment was to go today, me and my daughter. So when I went there, he was there. The man was so happy to see me. You know what I'm saying? He's still laughing. He's still talking. He looks like he's sick, but at the same time, he's still the person that I remember. So I'm saying to him, are you behaving yourself and doing what the doctor said? He goes to me, no. And that's him. That's just the way that he is. But the part that touched me the most is when I got ready to leave. He reached up and grabbed me by the hand and said to me, thank you. And when he said it, I left, because if I didn't leave, I would have stood there and I would have been crying. But I'm saying to myself, this man is sitting here and everything that he's going through, he still showed me that he appreciated the fact that I called him to check on him, and still I came for his services, for my taxes and stuff to be done. I know that I'm a winded person and I always have stories and stuff to tell, but I just say that to say, you don't know what that person is going through. You don't know what that person may need to help them to make it through the day. I'm quite sure other people went there to get their taxes and stuff filled out also. But how many people are actually going to go in there and sit down and have conversations with him? He said to me, he thanked me for calling him to check on him. Even his sister said to me, you were calling, checking on him? I'm like, yeah. I said, because as long as he's been doing my taxes, this man is like family and stuff to me. I could have went to the hospital to see him, but I didn't know what hospital he was in, but I was still calling to check on him. I just want to put that out there. So thank you guys for coming and watching the show. The show is coming to an end as usual, and I thank you all for coming in to watch this show. But like I always say, all good things must come to an end. So what I need for you guys to do, if you haven't already done it, or if you know someone who hasn't done it, go to YouTube, sign up for YouTube so you can watch the show, so you can get notifications when the show actually comes on and when the show actually starts. You can also, hold on, let me show you my stuff. Hold on, let me bring this to you. Let me show you. Okay, so you guys know there's merchandise. You can go to demarca.bandcamp.com. You can download my podcast so you can listen to the information. You can order t-shirts there. You can order bags there. You can order bottles there. And I'm also going to add some more things to it. I want to thank the Blessing Box for allowing me to bring them out, to talk about them, to let people know exactly what the Blessing Box does. I thank you so very much. Carol said Great topic. Thank you, Carol. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. Again, if you know anybody that's elderly, go out there, check on the elderly, talk to them. Even if you spend 5 or 10 minutes with them, you waste more time on your own self, more than 5 or 10 minutes. So to spend 5 to 10 minutes with an elderly person is not going to hurt you. It does a lot of good for them. So I thank you guys for joining in to watch the show. If anybody wants to be on the show for any reason, anything that you feel that you want to talk about, remember that it's Diva-Ville, my mind, my thoughts. So whatever you want to talk about or get it off your chest, come in. Let's chop it up. Let's talk about it. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you very much. Good night.